the good word. Give me a second, guys, while I find today's Bible verse. Happy Monday. Woo! Yeah. Okay. Great. Great. Got a like already. Come on, guys, as you get in light. Today's Bible verse is Psalms 34:11. Come, ye children, hearken unto me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. Woo! Love that. Hey, Antonio, good morning. All right, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see that consistency. All right, got a good one for you today. Okay, I'm going to say that again, guys. Psalms 34:11. Come, ye children, hearken unto me. I will teach you the fear of the Lord. Woo! We all need to fear the Lord. Amen. All right. Yes, indeed. Okay, so today, what I'm going to talk about today, guys, is jealousy, envy and jealousy. And you might say, Mr. Frederick, how do you deal with that? What do you mean? Well, I mean that in this life, good morning, as we are elevating, ascending, improving ourselves, this channel is all about discovery. It's all about understanding, okay? It's all about improving yourself in this existence, You really are, you're looking to do that. So that's what we're all trying to do. We're all trying to go to the next level. And jealousy is one of those things that, especially if you're a good-hearted person, you'll run into. You'll run into jealousy. You'll run into envious people. And they don't always come up and say, hey, this is what I am. This is what I'm about. They don't always do it that way. A lot of times they come as wolves in sheep clothing. That's just what it is. That's how, jealousy presents itself. And it's very important that you understand not only the dynamics, understand the dangers, how dangerous it is. It's not something that you just say, hey, forget it. This person's jealous of me. I'm not worried about it. I don't want to deal with that emotional whatever. They're nice. They haven't done anything to me. Okay, maybe they're. You might even like it a little bit. You might even feel like it strokes your ego somewhat. Not good. Okay, so even if you do get a little ego off of it, of I see you hating or whatever. No, it's dangerous. That is the crust of everything. It's very dangerous, and you don't want to play around with it. You don't want to keep individuals with this type of spirit around you. And I cited a few reasons why. And I'm going to break it down as to how dangerous it is, why you don't want to take it lightly, why you ways to cope with it, ways to deal with it, okay, and how you can grow from it. And that's what we're all about. Okay, so let me just break down. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to break down one of the first things that you want to watch out for. And it's just kind of ways of seeing if someone has this for you, okay? And so what you want to look at, if you see someone who is downplaying your wins, when you win, as you guys come in, give me some likes, guys. If you see someone that can't celebrate you in a positive way, in a sincere way, not jokingly or not any all those little backhanded, all of that, not like that. I mean a sincere, I celebrate you. Now, not expecting if you disrespected them and treated them wrong, no, they're not going to celebrate you. Let's be realistic here. This is within boundaries of them too. Because I've been in situations where I didn't celebrate someone and they disrespected me. So we all have our boundaries. But if you haven't done any of these things to someone and they can't celebrate you, they can't give you upliftment, they just can't do it. I can tell you sincerely that that's a sign of envy or jealousy. I mean, if you have some sort of a relationship and a bond, okay, so you want to watch out for that. They downplay your achievements. That's very dangerous because you need people around you. You need a team that's going to uplift you, that's going to help propel you to the next level and sustain you. You're not always going to be at your best. So you pretty much make up who you're around. And if you're around people who can't celebrate you, who don't want to help you, don't want to just be there for you, as comforters or whatever when you need them, it's very bad. And that can be a sign of jealousy and envy. Again, backhanded compliments is one sign. You say something to you like, oh, you did good for someone who hasn't completed da da da, those types of things. You look good, women to do this. You look good for a dark skinned girl or something like that, or you're a pretty, these are all things backhanded. These are all jealousy, compliments with a little bit of sting in it somewhere. All of those types of things are no. All those types of things are no. You want positivity. You want people who truly back you fully. Not, with the extra stuff going on there. Hey, Reza, you don't want any of that extra stuff going on there because it's something behind that. And that's the danger. You don't know how deep it is, but you know that it's bad. And you don't want to have that type of experience. Sometimes they will have secret enjoyment in your failures. Something, say you're down or something, you hit a down period, something negative happens to you. They actually like it. They're happy. They're happy something bad, negative happened to you. And that's dangerous. You'll see situations where you might be sick. I seen this and I didn't know what it was. I'd never seen it before because I was like, I'd never seen, but I experienced this. I was not feeling well one time, and then I went to the hospital and I felt better. And the person I was with at the time that was around me was mad. And I was looking like, what? I was befuddled, confused, like, why is this person angry that I'm better? And it's confusing to a sane person. It makes no sense. But the person secretly was doing stuff behind my back, envy, jealous, very resentful type of individual, devilish individual, very dangerous, thief, everything. You can imagine everything. But I had never seen, maybe people had done it, behind and I didn't see, but I had never seen someone actively. I was almost in disbelief. Like, how could this person be happy that upset that I'm feeling better? It's scary, family. I'm telling you, it's scary. And to someone who's mentally healthy, this will appear, they won't understand it. You can't understand it if you're mentally healthy, because only a person who's insane that really has that type of emotional response to someone, feeling better. You're not going to have that if you're sane. It's just not, no one's going to, if you're in a relationship, because you won't be around them. So you have to be aware of those weird, crazy things, crazy making things to you. They're dangerous. Okay, another thing they do is you'll see they'll copy you. Okay, someone who is jealous and envious of you, you'll notice it, like they might criticize you initially about whatever you're doing, whatever endeavors you're going upon on your purpose. But then you'll see later they're copying you and doing the same thing that they were criticizing you about. Now, that's a clear sign. If you see that, if you see someone say, hey, how are you opening up that business? You can't do a business. Who's going to go to your business? And then next thing you know, what do you know? They're opening up a business. It's really, but I knew that one. I knew what that was when I saw that. This is a personal experience I've seen with jealousy. It's crazy. Envy and jealousy. That one is very evident. Someone criticizes what you do, and then shortly thereafter, they're doing the same thing. Clear jealousy, but like I said, I grew up around a lot of these people, so I become accustomed to it, which was dangerous because you don't understand the danger of it. Okay, so the people you grew up with were dangerous too, but maybe you made it out alive. But when you get out here in the real world with other people that's not your family, not saying your family can't try to take you out, because they can too, but it's even more dangerous because you don't know the root of it. You don't know what's going on with the outside people. Like, you might know your family, you might know some inside information about them as to why they have this animosity towards you. But outside people, you don't know. You just know that that they have it. And really, that's all you need to know. Okay, that's enough for you to run. You're going to see that, understand it's external. When someone has these emotions, these feelings towards you, it's external. It's not about you. Okay, even though, yes, you are the object of that envy and that jealousy. You're the object of it, yes. But it's really not about you. It's about them. It's about the fact that you are triggering insecurities. You're triggering into their subconscious shadow side, their wounds. Maybe something about you. Maybe you're more outspoken than them, and they're not that outspoken. They weren't promoted to be that outspoken as a child, and they see that outspokenness in you. I've been a victim of that too. Whereas you speak your mind freely, So people like me will always kind of be a beacon for that, because if you are one of those people that grew up like this, you see someone like me, immediately it's going to be, whoa, this guy just says whatever he thinks, which is not true, almost. But you get the gist of it. I speak my mind, and I learned to be that way because the older you get, well, in my life at least, when you don't tell the truth, when you don't, it always bites you in the butt. So I think we like to improve as we get older. That's what this channel is about: purpose, development, understanding. As you get older, okay, all of those three fundamental elements, dynamics, you should improve. You should improve your purpose, you should improve your understanding, and you should be developing. Give yourself compassion enough to develop. I'm better than I was yesterday. That's the goal. And so you're not going to know all of these things, but that's why I have the channel. The coaching is all about helping. And when you see these things, they're typically, I like to point to dangers, because we know our purpose and what direction we're going in typically, okay? And it's going to be roadblocks. It's going to be potholes on the way that we have to watch out for. And using God as our compass, using God as our beacon of hope, and always a center of where we should go. At the end of the day, whatever jealousy, whatever people come up against you, God is always what you should look to and fall back on. Because all of those spirits and energies on a spiritual level, they can't be God. So I don't care what man has planned for you that's bad, that's not in your favor. No weapons formed against you shall prosper. Remember that. Okay, so now, guys, I'm going to go on to another negative about being around these type of people. They're very draining. Okay, they drain your energy. Being around them, if you ever go around someone, you have a conversation, you share some of your life, they share some of theirs, but somewhere, something just doesn't feel right. When you get up and leave the conversation, when you get up and leave the interaction, you feel drained. If you ever experience that, where you just feel drained and it's unexplainable, why do I feel drained? That person they're projecting some sort of envy, something negative upon you that's coming from their unconscious. And so even though they might not be saying it, it's coming off in their body language. Your unconscious is picking it up too, that there's some hidden animosity towards you. And you might not even know, hey, I didn't do anything to this person. Why are they upset at me? It's nothing to do with you. It's what you represent. Once you understand to get past what you see out here in the world, once you get past this and you look into this and you feel people's spirit and their energy, you will be a better, I would say, director of your journey. Okay? Of your journey, you will be a better director once you see people's spirit, their energy that they give you. That's more of an indicator than what they say. Literally. That energy is so powerful. So when you find yourself drained by individuals, believe it's not good. You're supposed to be uplifted. You want to come away from interactions with someone feeling better than you did before you sat down with them, not worse. Okay, so draining is a sign. Someone who keeps score with you all the time. Someone who's always keeping score. Oh, you did this last time. You paid for this last time. I did this. You did that. It's like a transaction. Everything's a transaction. Tit for tat. Not a positive relationship. It's some sort of jealousy. Something's going on there. Why is this person or comparison? If you see someone constantly comparing themselves to you, oh, well, you did this. You had this many jobs. You did this. I did this. Anyone doing that? See, what used to confuse me, I used to think that, if you're a woman, you can't be jealous of a man. And if you're a man, you can't be jealous of a woman. No. That's so not true. Don't get fooled like me, family. You can be very, trust me, you will be very, let's say, vulnerable if you don't understand that it has nothing to do with gender. Jealousy has nothing to do with gender. And that's what I couldn't wrap my brain around. A woman can be jealous of a man. A man can be jealous of a woman. And so how this happens a lot of times is, we attract what our subconscious, our unconscious. We're attracting that. So someone who say you represent, even though you're of a different gender, but you represent something in that person that they don't have, or they don't feel they have, or they felt was wounded some kind of way. Confidence. They felt their confidence was wounded. You can be a man and have a woman, she's mad at you. And you're like, why are you mad? Because I'm a man, we're not competing. Yes, she's competing with you. When you find someone and you're in a relationship or something, some sort of a relationship, and they're competing with you, whether it's platonic, whether it's romantic, whether it's a family dynamic, when it's competition, that's not love. Understand that's not love. And to a guy, if you're very kind of vulnerable, you might see it that way. Hey, Xander, how you doing, buddy? Good to see you here. So to a man, you won't understand it. You really will be confused. But it's not love if someone's competing with you. Competition, when you love someone, when you care about someone, you want to uplift them. You're not, what are you doing? You're not comparing what they're doing to what you're doing. That's deep insecurities, deep troubling. That's a toxic relationship. If someone is attached to you just to see you fail and to compare themselves to you on any level. Let's see what you say there, Xander. Let me get into some of these comments. If it's all right, I'll pop in I want you every day. Yes, heck yeah. I want positive people. Remember, this channel is all about purpose, development, and understanding. Positive people who are in search of those things is what this channel needs. And we'll grow. Make the world better a little bit every day. One person at a time, one step at a time, guys. So also, I'm going to close out soon with this envy and jealousy, but detachment. Sometimes you have to detach. When you see these things, you don't always want to have an emotional outburst or reaction. You might be angry because you might say, hey, I'm supporting you. I want the best for you. Why are you trying to down me? It's natural to have that feeling because it hurts that someone doesn't want the best for you when you want the best for them. But you have to detach from that because you have to understand that's their problem. That's not your problem. Leave it with them. Don't take their issues because guess what? They're going to take those same issues to wherever they go and you'll be long gone. But wherever they go, they're going to take that anger, that resentment, that jealousy, that envy, that spirit. They're going to take that wherever they go. And someone else might not be as nice as you. That's how the world works. See, the universe has a way of correcting things. If you're so kind and you don't tell a person directly, hey, back up, hey, I'm not with that. They'll keep doing it. And they might try to pick their victims, someone who seems easygoing, kind-hearted, and usually that's the people that they pull this stuff on. They have it for everyone, but the people that they'll actively show it to is someone that they don't feel is a threat. That's how that type of spirit thinks. If they don't believe that person will physically threaten them, because they don't care about words. These type of spirits only care about physical safety. If they don't believe you will hurt them, that their life is in harm, they'll do anything to you. And that's why some people, unfortunately, back in the day, they used to use physical, discipline on kids, in relationships. Because let's think, human nature is the first thing we want to protect is our survival. That's, instinct. That's human instinct, survival. And so if they feel like that's a threat, then they'll back up. That's the sickness of it. It shouldn't be that someone has to threaten bodily harm on you for you not to be that way. But that is what it is. So I'm just telling what it is, okay, guys? So detachment and self-care, awareness, self-awareness. You want to be aware. You want to be very self-aware. You want to be very present with yourself and understand that this person doesn't control you. This person doesn't dictate anything about you, okay? It's, you are in your zone. They're in their zone. So don't take on their stuff. Another thing, you want relationships that nurture your growth, not that hinder you. You want relationships that promote you being the best you. If it's not promoting you and nurturing your growth, what is it doing? Why are you interacting with this person? And that's where you got to check yourself. Because if it's sex, wrong. If it's money, wrong. If it's for clout, partying, drugs, wrong. All those things are not good reasons to have a connection and be around someone. If it's for to elevate your professional life, wrong. All those are superficial reasons. That you could have superficial reasons that you're there, but in a mix, you're exposing yourself to a snake. So this is my point I'm making there. So you want to also communicate to individuals. You want to be able to develop communication skills and set those boundaries. You want to be able to set boundaries. Hey, I really don't like how you said that. Or what did you mean by saying that? Sometimes just approach the person. What do you mean by that? And they'll probably say, oh, I was just joking. Now, they weren't joking, but they're going to say that because they have to hide behind a mask when they really have this very venomous kind of emotion and anger towards you. They can't outright say it. That's why they want to get close to you. Again, a person who's mentally healthy, they don't want to get close to people that they have resentment for. You want to stay away from people you don't like. Someone who's mentally unstable, complete opposite. They want to get in close and try to harm the person some kind of way. So you want to attract, the only way you're going to attract healthy people is you have to be healthy. That's why you got to know your attachment style. Are you an avoidant? Are you a people pleaser? You got to know your different style. Are you a person who's anxious attachment style? You want the love real quick. You want to hold on to it. Are you an abandonment person who's afraid of abandonment? You need to know these things about yourself. So, like I said, the Lord always protects you with a lot of these things, but you need some good common sense too. The Lord gives us a sound mind for a reason. So you don't settle for just anybody, and you don't tolerate disrespect. And the best way to get that is set those boundaries early. Don't let the person get into close to you, and then you start deciding, hey, I'm going to set some boundaries here. Now, unfortunately, a lot of us fell into knowledge when we fell into it. Come on, we had the internet now. We have YouTube. A lot of people went to school late. They might have studied psychology. I'm a late studier of psychology. My early schooling was all business. It was sales. So I come from that background. So I really had no information about psychology. But once I did step into it years ago, I found a love and a passion for it. And I found that a lot of my issues that I had personally were due to things that already had been filed away and studied for centuries, okay? All the way back to Plato and all of these philosophers, and so when I really start to understand the power of knowledge, I start to open my mind to not just making money. Because, money is great. We need it to survive. But even in a good book, it says, wisdom is better than rubies and gold. Knowledge and wisdom and understanding is better for a man to have. So remember that. Money is great. But when you got knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, it's nothing like it. It's nothing like it. And it's much more valuable because you can get the rubies and gold. You can get more of that. With that knowledge, you get whatever you want. It opens up the doors for you. Okay? So don't settle. And remember, prioritize your values. Prioritize what you're about. That's why you have to have that steady center of self. Okay? Anyone who tries to rock that, question that, they got to go. When people try to knock you off of that and make you something other than what you are, gotta go. Gotta go. Your values come first. Their views, their validation, second, third, fourth, who cares? It matters. You got to remember what's important to you. Okay? And that's all I'm going to say about that, guys. So we got to stay away from jealous, envious people. It's very dangerous, very poisonous. And on your way to developing and becoming the best you You want to avoid those individuals. You want to create relationships and bonds of people that really care about you, not people that are competing against you. Again, that's not love. Someone that's competing against you, that wants to see your downfall, obviously that's not love. Okay? I don't care what background you come from. You might have came up with people like this. But once you have the knowledge now, it's on you. Now you know. If you don't know, now you know. Now you know. So you know now. So do not stay in these relationships. Very dangerous. All right, guys. I'm going to switch gears. As you know, I always talk about a musician, an artist, someone that I admire, someone that I like to pass on my experiences of enjoying their work with you. And today, I'm going to give that honor to Sting. I don't know how many people are familiar with Sting, but he's one of my favorites. Started out with the Police, as you know. Roxanne, you don't have to worry. I love that song. Everybody know that from, what's Eddie Murphy movie? I think that was, 48 Hours, when he was singing that, when he was in jail. But yeah, Sting goes back a long time with the Police. They were kind of rock, a little punk. But then he went on later. Then, he had the song everyone liked, every step you take, every step you take, every move you make, I'll be watching you. So yeah, Sting, that's the Sting. All of those songs are near and dear to my heart. Because when I was coming up in the early 80s as a young kid, we had video music box and all of that. And you see the singers come on and the artists come on. And, when you're a kid, you don't care. You don't care where they're from. If he's from Australia, if he's from Mars, you don't care. Shouldn't care when you're an adult. But, I fell in love with a lot of these artists back in the day. And Sting was one of those. A lot of continuous hits over the years. Your Fields of Gold. I mean, just lots of hits that he made that really just set the tone for the 80s. I think of Sting, I think of the 80s. All those types of pop culture icons. He's one of them. So if you ever get a chance, check out some Sting, guys. Check out the Police. Check out some of those songs. If I ever lose myself in you. Yeah, that's one of my favorites too. Oh yeah. If I ever lose myself in you. Sting is an artist that if you really like music, I don't care what genre, I don't care where you're from. If you enjoy music, you'll like Sting. Trust me on that recommendation. A true legend. He needs to get more credit too, guys. All right, guys, that's it for today. But remember, love what you do and do what you love. I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Thanks for your support.